Totally dope. I know you ride bikes, and I'll just first start off by introducing myself, and maybe you could tell me how to pronounce your last name. I think is really interesting there. So my name is Joshua Funches, and I'm part of the National Bike Council. Pretty much, the council is like it's pretty much like a youth-led initiative. It's a group, pretty much where we're trying to, create like this youth community around cycling. Pretty much just engaging in what we love. So, want to introduce yourself real quick, and maybe how you got into cycling?
Yeah. My name is Pablo Figueroa. I got into cycling super young, As a kid, I kind of, always kind of rode like most people. And then eventually I kind of got more serious into it, sort of in middle school. I got a little more competitive and started road cycling and riding like super far and being a little more competitive and being more serious about the sport. So yeah, I kind of just kind of eventually got to it got a little elevated. But yeah, that's kind of how I got into it. Just seeing a lot of people riding bikes, fixies in particular, and I kind of wanted to get into it. And then from fixies, I went on to road biking and mountain biking.
Dope. No, I know we just like hopped into it, but are you like a college student, or like in full
Yeah,
time, or oh, you're college?
yeah. I'm a college student. I go to UC Davis, and it's super cool because UC Davis is, I guess at one point it was like the bike capital of the USA. So
Uh-huh.
I'm in a community and I'm in a city where it's like everybody rides bikes there. So it's like everything kind of fell into place when I now that I'm in college because like they even have like a cycling club, and so I'm a part of that, and it's super dope talking to other students in my school about bikes and things, and they're just as, if not more, into bikes than me. So it's so cool.
Yeah, I know. That's actually something I feel like we need here on the West Coast. So if I'm ever coming to the East Coast. So if I'm ever coming to the West Coast, definitely stopping by there. Because I know
Yeah.
we don't have like something too much like that, especially with like colleges getting involved in like having like this whole cycling culture evolved around it. And just for the people that are gonna be watching this later, I'm gonna tell them how me and you met. I actually joined that Discord from someone else who invited me to it. And I saw there was like quite a few active people. I'm like, this is totally dope that y'all have like I guess just rides. So like tell me a little bit about that Discord. Like what do y'all do and maybe how did you find that Discord as well?
Yeah. So yeah, it's cool because yeah, someone in the Discord is also part of the coalition, but you guys is coalition. So that they're the ones that invited me to for the interview. He's that person is the one that invited me to the interview. So it's cool. Yeah. I kind of when I got to UC Davis, I kind of knew it was sort of a cycling thing. I kind of got interested in maybe racing with the team. I don't know if I might race with the team now.
Right.
Depends if my workload. But on Instagram, their Instagram just kind of invited me, and then I kind of went there, and it's cool because like they have a section. Discord is so cool now in COVID times because it's like a social platform. So like they have a place where you could talk about like views and scenes, and they have a place to talk about like questions about bikes. People are just starting up, and so they always have questions. So it's cool, answering questions or even
Yeah.
asking questions. I know sometimes I've asked cycling questions, whether they're like mechanical or like a advice on how you should ride somewhere, or like traffic laws and traffic tips, anything really. It's there to organizations like as you guys also just it's a cool way to just people to be introduced to cycling and just to learn more. So yeah.
Yeah. So I see like you probably got involved in cycling at an earlier age. When you say like how early do you think that is? I didn't get involved into cycling until like 2013, but I started first by like fixing bikes, and I'm curious if you know how to fix any as well.
Yeah. I guess to answer the first question, I was riding like a little BMX when I was a kid, and I loved it. I loved riding my little BMX bike. And then eventually, there was like a wave in Los Angeles where just a bunch of people rode fixies.
Right.
Bunch of people were riding fixies, and I kind of got into it. And then from there, I seen people were racing fixies, and so I kind of got into there. I got a better bike, and then later I wanted gear, so then I went into road cycling, And so through my road bike, I just started doing a lot of like fixes and things, just kind of YouTubing. Eventually, I got like I got tools, and so now I'm working as a bike mechanic. Doing
Nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm a bike mechanic now. Just through years of just fixing my own bikes, I kind of got a lot of I got a lot of experience, and so now I'm a bike mechanic, which is I'm working as a hobby. So yeah, I'm doing that during the summer.
Dope. Nice. Wish you success this summer. So is it fair to say that like your
Thanks.
favorite bike is like a fixie and not a road bike, or
I recently got into mountain biking, and my mountain bike is like right now it's super comfortable to ride compared to like a fixie or a road bike.
all right?
It's like it's super comfortable. Like the tires are a lot wider. Like you're sitting more upright, and so I think that would be kind of my favorite one, just because it's like to ride and to sit on the bike. It's a lot more comfortable than to be like kind of hunched over on a fixie or like a road bike. So yeah,
Yeah,
I think mountain biking is like my favorite type of bike.
got you. Do you think that'll change in like the next few years or something?
Um, I guess it's kind of hard to say it's my favorite one because I like to ride everything.
I see
I
that.
like to I have four bikes, so I don't know. I think even saying like mountain biking is my favorite one, just to answer your question, but I like all of them.
I
I
see
like
that.
all of them.
I see. I also couldn't choose like one either. I love to like I love my road bike, but I'm really much like a leisure rider, so I'll get on like a bike that's maybe just not
Yeah,
as good, or one that I'm just like, I just like put that together and just start riding it just to ride. So
sick.
I can totally relate with that. So let's see. So you use Discord, like I guess you're involved in like a little bit of a community since you know your college like supports cycling in some form or way, and I'm assuming your
Yeah.
community does too. Is there anything else that you do to sort of like stay involved in like the cycling community?
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't know if you're aware of Strava. Are you on Strava?
Yes, I'm not
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah,
Strava,
yeah.
but I'm totally familiar.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you should get Strava. And then definitely add me too if you ever get it. It's super cool because not only is it like a social platform, but it's
Uh,
also like you can keep track of your progress and compare yourself to other people. So for example, UC Davis has like a Strava group. So like
mhm,
in Strava, you can kind of see like the rest of the club members, and you could
right.
tell like which ones are kind of like super serious. They're putting in like hundreds of miles a week, and then
Yeah.
some people are kind of intermediate, and then some people kind of like are weekend warriors. So Strava really like I think it's a step further. Like with Discord, it goes in par, but this time, like you can see people's like progress, and you can see like where they're writing at, like all of that. And same with me, like I could show people like where I'm writing around, or like my status, or like if I beat any record. So Strava's a big one, definitely a big one that I really
Right.
like to use.
Is there any others that like follow up?
Um, what do you mean, like Strava and Discord?
I guess like Strava, Discord, stay connected with the community. And funny
Oh,
enough, both of those are online. So like I guess shout out to the internet.
yeah, 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 right. Definitely. Another one which is funny enough, the internet is Reddit. Reddit. I
Reddit,
love
yeah,
Reddit.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I'm on the bike mechanic forum on
uh,
Reddit. So like, there's a bunch of like discussions going on there, and like like just opinions and like cool stuff they post, and then I sometimes post questions. I had a couple questions on when building my mountain bike.
uh-huh.
And then I'm in LA. I'm in Los Angeles.
Got
That's
you.
where I'm from. And so LA also has like a Discord place page just
Uh-huh.
for LA cyclists. So people are
Uh,
like posting good routes, what routes to take. They post questions too. Like, hey, is this street opened up yet? Is there an easier way to get from this place to this place, all bike route? So yeah,
yeah.
that's another place. I don't really know a lot of like in-person resources. Um, but yeah, I know a lot of definitely internet resources. I think the internet is cool for that.
No, for real. Yeah, I feel like that's how I've been like staying connected with the cycling community in itself. And by the way, I was that person in the UC Davis with like the question mark thingy. So I
Oh, I
definitely
see.
reached out. I was like, hey, does anyone want to be a part of this? So
Hmm.
first of all, glad that you were like just totally dope to just like
Yeah,
hop on,
yeah.
so we can learn a little bit about your story, so we can figure out ways to involve more people. Sort of a bad segue, but I guess my question next would be like, how do you think like your view on cycling is now versus when you started versus how it is now?
Hmm. Mm, I think now. Oh, that's a pretty interesting question. When I started out, all the kids were kind of writing fixies and things. I guess, yeah. So everybody was kind of writing fixies. My friend groups were kind of writing. I actually have more friends that got into cycling, which is, I think, really cool. I kind of introduced them to them, and now they're like faster than me. But back then it was just kind of like when I started out as like a youth. Everybody kind of it's just kind of an easier form of transportation. Nobody has license, people just get around on their bikes. And
Agreed.
now, kind of now getting into college and seeing my high school friends graduate and things, they kind of it's a very, as a youth cyclist, you kind of start to see a lot of people kind of leave from the sport, which was something I seen a lot as a kid. It was kind of sad, seeing my friends kind of stop riding and get cars. Everybody kind of gets cars, and then like they stop riding. I have a car and I still ride. If anything, I ride more because I just put my bike in the car and go somewhere.
There you
But
go.
yeah, it's that, like, a lot of people just see maybe they don't have enough time. They might think it's kind of lame, or they just get cars. And then, but now because of COVID, like, everybody has time now, so I do see a lot of people starting to get bikes. I'm sure you're aware of the bike shortages and things
Yeah.
for COVID, which I think is really cool. But at the same time, it's like, dang, I need to get a part for this and that, and like,
Yeah. And it's like not really there for you to like get. It's almost like the what happened with GPUs as well. If you're like a techie person, all the stuff in the tech just
oh
started
my
going.
God, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anything,
I'm a
nowhere. Like it was horrible.
Yeah, yeah. Funny story. Yeah, I'm also like into computers and stuff. I got a GPU. I had to pay resale price for it because it was out of stock.
Oh my
I
God.
got an Nvidia 37, and everybody just wants them and stuff, and um, just a lot of stuff. Yeah, I had to pay resale on it. I don't know if you're into computers and stuff.
I am. I actually have a I just do like a bunch of IT stuff. I only built one
Mhm.
computer, so I didn't like get around to doing so many. But just like my bikes, I've actually built more bikes than I have computers, so
Yeah,
I
me
think it's
too.
a
Yeah,
lot
everybody
easier.
just demos them. Yeah.
I would have never thought bike parts would have been like that, like where I'm like fighting for like these computer parts, like bike parts. I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's definitely a correlation in hands-on things like that, and it's cool. It's cool to figure things out like that, on yourself and putting things together. That's why I kind of like cycling too, bikes, because they're like easy. It's not like a car. Like a car, I'm sure is a lot daunting, and then a bike, it's like you can see all the components there.
Exactly. Literally, you can see everything. So stick around in our Discord for sure. Like, we're gonna need some help with like bike parks, just in case anyone has like any
Yeah,
questions. Since we like
definitely. Yeah,
work
if
full time. I
anybody.
think two other council members, like part of the council, like work full time at bike shops. So like, we need like help with like
Cool.
people who know stuff. So I guess that would be my question though. Like, I sort of want to know how you got that job. And can you remind me, how did you figure out, like, you were just fixing bikes and you just like learned it on your own? Like, that's so nice.
Yeah. Um. So I guess I can answer the second question and then kind of move into the first question. As like I had repairs for bikes, like, regular maintenance, and also like upgrades. Like I sometimes want to upgrade maybe my handlebars. I
All
want to
right.
get different stuff. Maybe obviously change a tire. I think that was one of the first things I kind of learned. Changing a tire. I think that's something everybody should really learn. Learn to
Agreed.
take your wheel off, and then because if you're find myself like being like super far from home with no inner tube, like, yeah, it's like it happens to a lot of people if you're not prepared, or if you don't have someone to tell you, like, when you get into cycling. And it's something I tell people all the time, like, learn how to change your flat.
Yeah, you can
So
have a
just
rim ride home.
Yeah. I've had my mom pick me up, my dad picking me up like a couple times. But that was like when I was first starting off. So that's something like I think your organization should really push for, like learning how to change your own tire. Even if you don't need to learn how to change your own bottom bracket or do any like super complex things, you should
Yeah,
definitely learn how to change your tire. I think that's one of the like the most important things someone should know how to do if you're into cycling. And then just yeah, just upgrading things, like changing out, swapping things. If I needed like a change my chain, I would need to get the tool, and then just on and on from there. I just got to this point where like I kind of know most things now. I that they need at a bike shop: bleeding brakes, changing brakes, yeah, just eventually it took a while, it took a couple of years for me to learn. I'm sure like if I were to start right off not knowing anything at a bike shop, I would be able to learn a lot quicker though too.
I see.
But it was just like need, like the need, I had to learn need.
I see. I learned how to fix bikes when I went to an earn a bike program and I got to keep the bike at the end. And everyone's bike had different issues, but mine like was pretty fair. It was a hybrid. It was the first bike I ever like fixed up. So that was how I learned. So I was wondering if like, you went to like an earn a bike program, but let's say you just sort of toughed it out and on top of that, got yourself a position at a bike shop. So credit to you,
Yeah.
man.
I haven't really heard of Earn a Bike. I think there are programs like that in Davis that I've heard of. I think there's programs in LA like that too. But I kind of just learned through YouTube, a lot of
Gotcha.
YouTube. I think I learned a lot of things through YouTube that I kind of just wouldn't know how to do. So yeah, just definitely YouTube. I watched a bunch of different videos, not just one video. I kind of watch different varieties and see how
Hmm.
different ways people do stuff.
Hmm.
I think YouTube has honestly been a really good platform. Just learning things. I sometimes recommend YouTube videos to people that ask me questions like, "Oh, go watch this. This helped me out." Because I think just YouTube is a really great source, not only for biking but for a lot of just do it yourselfers. And just yeah, just through YouTube and just through doing things on my bike. I I was able to gain this knowledge, and in my interview, they kind of gave me like a spiel of what I should know,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, everything was pretty like I had experience with it. There's a
Nice.
couple things that I kind of it was my first time doing, like pulling a crank. I had
All
never
right.
pulled a crank. It was a different type of crank set from what I'm used to, but it was easy. You know, it was pretty self-explanatory for me. Like, kind of get the tool and use it. And then there's always people at my work that are willing to help. Like the other
Uh,
mechanic is always willing to help. There's three of us, and the other two are super cool. They also kind of know that it's my first job as a mechanic. I'm a
uh,
mechanic, but it's like my first time. Um, so it's cool. Yeah.
nice. Well, mechanic here, y'all. We got him. Would you say you're involved locally, like any leadership roles or anything like that within the community?
Yeah, I actually started a bike club at my high
We got it.
school.
We got it, boys.
Yeah, I started a bike club in my school. It was only like in total, everybody that joined were like maybe like nine of us,
Hmm.
and then like four of us would just kind of be consistent. But we were able to get some group rides going in, which was cool. Better none than Yeah, we were able to get some group rides. It was super cool. We went on a thing called like Ciclavia, where they shut down like part of Los Angeles just for bikes.
All right.
It used to happen 3 months, every 3 months,
Hmm.
like before COVID. But it was really cool to help like people in my high school that just kind of ride as a group. That was always kind of my main goal, just ride as a group. Everybody that goes that is into cycling. We also got into track cycling. A couple of the club members, I
Uh,
helped them out. Like my fixies, I ride them in a velodrome. I don't know if
right.
you're familiar with the
Yep.
velodrome. We're able to partner up with a program called Connie Cycling,
All right.
and so we would just our advisor, which was a teacher, he would give us a ride to the track, and there were rental bikes there. So it was so cool because like you don't even need a bike to go to the track. They had a bike for them, which is super cool.
So yeah, I mean, if we knew about you, like I guess a little sooner, or I guess maybe if we existed a little sooner, maybe the community could have helped in some form or way from wherever we are. We've been talking about the internet this whole time. Yeah, so I guess that's a good question for me. I know you already mentioned one thing, like maybe the National Youth Bike Council could do like some videos on like how to fix a flat and stuff like that. Which, by the
Yeah.
way, we actually did like this Spring Back on Bikes campaign where we asked a bunch of different like organizations that have young people to submit like videos on how to fix bikes. And the people, actually, right straight out of Philly, we had people showing how to change a flat. And I think we had another group from maybe somewhere else along the East Coast. And it was just a bunch of young children, like probably like 6, 7, 8, like
Wow.
pumping up their tires, showing how to pump up tires. It was so cute. Um,
Wow.
so you can clearly see that anybody can do it. But like, what would you think that like the council can do to help other youth cycling groups? What do you think we can do?
This is a national council, right? Like
Yep.
it's national. Wow. Yeah, just because you're national, I think it gives you like so broad. Like, look at other national organizations. I think because it's so national, like I think it's pretty cool. You could definitely like partner up with a lot of other established organizations in more like selected areas. So you guys could definitely do something in Davis now that you know you have club members in Davis. So you could definitely like uh, do something like maybe uh, something I always wanted as like a youth was maybe having like a youth group ride. So just being aware of like group rides out there, I would kind of have to like search and hunt for like safe kind of like youth group rides. So that was always pretty cool. I know my parents, being as a youth cyclist, my parents were always kind of like
Yeah.
wary of where to let me go. And in cycling, it's so easy to go like 20 miles out in an hour and 2 hours. And so that's always something to keep in mind for parents. So I think a lot of a goal is to like also um, have an ease of mind for the parents.
All right.
So if you guys like organize rides, like safety should be like pretty important and apparent to parents. Just reaching out to like local organizations, making shirts, merchandise. I think merchandise is cool. I would have liked to like own a national youth cycling member shirt, something like that. Yeah, just also just coming out to races too. I think races, there's a lot of races everywhere in the US, road cycling
Mhm.
races, mountain biking races, and then promoting youth categories. Youth categories. I think that's a big one too. Like if you're starting out and you're young, you'd kind of want to race with other young guys too. Like
Yes.
you wouldn't want to race with like some older 50-year-old guy. I think it's a lot funner if you kind of open it up for just a youth category. I know there's a couple, and then if there is an established one, I think just reaching out to them and telling them about the organization. So yeah,
Mhm.
just kind of doing that, and then maybe even sponsoring races. I don't know how you guys' funding is, but yeah,
So
yeah,
actually,
just
funny
stuff like
enough,
that.
we were hoping to. Are you familiar with the Youth Bike Summit?
With the bike summit,
Youth
I
Bike
think I've
Summit.
heard about it. The person that invited me, I think, was kind of mentioning about it.
Yeah. Um, we're hoping to actually sponsor people to that, which like as years go on, we're hoping to be able to sponsor more and more, or just have like more local groups be involved in sponsoring their own locations. But starting there, or even starting just involve people that are just cycle normally. Like imagine if
Yeah,
like maybe some of your friends could like travel the country just to go meet up with a bunch of other people that just cycle because they want to cycle. That would be so
yeah,
like inspirational.
yeah. Sick. Yeah, I definitely know a lot of people that like travel like out of state just to do a certain ride, like a certain like group ride. I think you guys are, yeah, that's definitely the track to go. You guys could definitely like set up a ride and organize a ride, maybe a year. Like establish it a year before just so everybody like knows. And then somewhere kind of like very populous. Maybe in California, I know there's a lot of people in California, but even like in the East Coast, somewhere where you guys know there's a lot of people that ride, or like youth, like you know,
Hmm.
youth riders that are in need of maybe some an organization to help out. Because like
Hmm.
a lot of cyclists are kind of grown men and stuff, like they could do financial plans and trips
Correct. Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
But like as a youth, like there's nothing really established, like, hey, this is something for kids, this is your parent, we'll take care of them. I've been part of, like, it's like camps, you know, you've been a summer camp
Yep.
for bikes, you know, I think
Hmm.
that would be very interesting, you know what I mean?
Yep.
um
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know there's a lot of young cats out there. I remember being one of them. Now I'm kind of old. Now I could do all that stuff. I kind of go on myself, and my parents won't be wary of me.
I
But
see.
yeah,
So I guess I want to just ask two questions. I know we're pinching at time, but what community cycling needs do you see that are most important just in the next year?
could you rephrase it, please?
Yep. So like in the next year, we're going to see maybe the bike boom continue on. You're going to see personally X things happen in your life. So what do you think like the cycling community could do to support people like you in the next year?
Mm, support other cyclists, like cyclists supporting
Yeah,
other
other youth
cyclists.
cyclists. Yeah. I feel like you
Um,
had mentioned a few, but I just wanted to ask it just in case.
yeah, yeah, yeah. How we could support each other and just people that are kind of coming up, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I think just asking questions. I work at a bike shop, so I like really like answering questions and like reaching out and just going to those resources that I had mentioned,
Yep.
Reddit, finding maybe not Discord. Maybe if you find something on Discord, um, but definitely something like Reddit and YouTube. I think those things are like a lot of the places where I've learned a lot and been exposed to a community.
Hmm.
Um, YouTube has been cool. The youth cycling Discord server is now open, so I guess people could go there too, or youth cyclists could go there. I
Correct.
really want
Yeah.
to emphasize that this is like for youth cyclists and not for like people that are like already like 20, 25, like already cyclists living on their own. This is
If you say that too
definitely
loud, they get mad.
no. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know there's definitely a need in the youth community for some organization to help them out. Helmets another thing too. You think maybe a lot of kids don't wear helmets. I don't know.
Right. Well, yeah. I feel like I asked all the questions. Do you feel like I should ask you something else that maybe you didn't get a chance to mention? And again, I like all of your answers, and I agree with all of them. Because I feel like we're fairly the same age, anyways. But anything
Yeah.
else that you wanted to mention, or anything I should ask you?
Yeah, I wish we had more time. You know, I would have been down to have like an hour talk with you. I think you're really cool, bro. Like, and you have a bunch of things. So whenever a bunch of things that are interesting to talk about. So if you guys ever need to talk like this again, I'm always willing to talk about bikes and things. Yeah, I really like it. If there's anybody also that needs me to do like a direct video, I think I'm down with that too. That would be really cool. Um, yeah, I don't have anything, but I'm super down. I want to get in contact with you, or like if you ever. I don't have Instagram or social media, but
Well, I figured like if we want to support like our peers and stuff like that, and really like create this community that literally needs to be here to help like other young people see the benefits of cycling, we need to start asking questions.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So right before this, actually, another council member was like talking with another youth cyclist, I think from I could be wrong, like Kansas or Nebraska.
yeah, yeah.
Going to continue these, throughout the rest of the summer. So maybe we'll have like a 2.0, like Pablo
Mhm.
2.0,
Mhm. Yeah, 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 yeah,
about like other
definitely.
initiatives and stuff like that. 'Cause I'm really interested in learning more about. Have you ever heard of the I think there's like a school in Colorado for like learning bike mechanics and stuff like that. Like I feel like maybe I think it's a university.
I'm not sure. I haven't heard of it. I know Colorado has a big cycling scene now. I know there's a good cycling scene over there in Colorado. So yeah. Do you go to Davis?
I don't. I'm in Philadelphia, but I know. Devin, and he was the one who invited me to
Oh,
get.
okay. Oh, I
He's
see. I
like
see. Okay.
a admin in the Discord, right?
I think so. I don't know. I think I know Devin though. I think he's in
Mm-hmm.
like in Southern California. But
He's
it's
like admin or something.
yeah. There's definitely a scene in Davis. There's a lot of bikers in Davis, and so yeah, I think that's a really cool place to make your establishment known there.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super down. We'll keep in touch an email. Send me newsletters. I'm down for all that.